Hi everyone! It's another day, and another powerful story. Welcome to Betrayal Exposed, where the people you trust most sometimes become your worst enemies. Today on Betrayal Exposed, we bring you William's story, a gripping tale of a kind-hearted husband, loyal, hardworking, and full of dreams. But his wife, Shella, wasn't who she claimed to be. She stole from him, lied to him, and left him for another man. But what she never expected was that the man she betrayed would become the very symbol of her failure. This is a story of betrayal, revenge, and ultimate success. Hi, I'm William. And if you've ever been betrayed by someone you trusted with your whole heart, this story might hit you hard. I was a good husband. I gave everything, my loyalty, my savings, and my soul to a woman I loved with all I had. Her name was Shella. We were married for 7 years. But what I didn't know was that she was slowly tearing apart everything I was building behind my back with another man. But karma? She works overtime. Shella and I met in college. She was smart, funny, and had a magnetic energy. I fell for her hard. When I got my first job in IT, she encouraged me to pursue my dream of launching a small tech startup. And I did. She cheered me on, or so I thought. We didn't have kids, but we had dreams. At least, I thought we did. I worked 14-hour days to build that company. Late nights, ramen dinners, barely any sleep. Shella said she was proud of me, that all this struggle would be worth it one day. What I didn't see was how distant she had become. The signs were there. She was always working late at her new marketing job. Her phone lived on silent. She started dressing up more for work, she said. Then came Joe. Joe was her colleague. I met him once at a company party. He shook my hand like I was invisible. A month later, Shella left. Just like that. No warning, no discussion. A note on the kitchen table. William, I'm not happy. I need to find myself. I'm sorry. I was destroyed. But that wasn't the worst part. She had access to the company's accounts, my business. As it turns out, while I was working myself to death, she was draining money from our joint business credit card and funneling it through fake invoices she created under Joe's fake marketing firm. They stole over $100. And then they disappeared. I almost gave up. I shut everything down. I moved into a small one-bedroom and stopped talking to friends. Depression hit me hard. I felt like a fool. But one night, I saw an old photo of me and Shella on my laptop the day I opened my business. And something inside me flipped. I said out loud, she may have taken my money, but she's not taking my future. And that night, I started over. I rebranded my company, cleaned up every file, and started pitching again. The first few months were brutal, but I pushed through. I slept in the office some nights, ate noodles, made cold calls. Then, one of my prototypes went viral, a cloud-based remote access tool I had built years ago but finally perfected. Clients came in fast. 6 months later, I had a team. 1 year later, I was on the cover of a startup magazine. 2 years later, I sold that company for 7 figures. And here's where the revenge gets real. At a tech summit in LA, I was invited to speak on stage. After my talk, I walked through the vendor booths just casually browsing. And there they were, Shella and Joe. Their marketing agency had a booth cheaply done, clearly struggling. They were passing out flyers like interns. And the moment Shella saw me, her smile dropped. I walked right up to her booth. William, she said. Shella, I replied calmly. Joe, how's business? Joe looked like he'd seen a ghost. She couldn't even make eye contact. I didn't mention the money. I didn't mention the betrayal. I simply smiled and handed them a copy of the tech magazine I was featured on. Keep going, I said. You're doing great. And I walked away. Later, I learned from a mutual friend that Joe left her not long after that. Their company failed. She tried starting over, but word gets around in small industries. Me? I reinvested, built 2 more companies, and now I mentor young entrepreneurs. The pain she caused? It became the fire I needed. Shella once said I wasn't ambitious enough, that I wasn't going anywhere. Now I own 3 properties, travel the world, and employ dozens of people. She took my money, but my success. That was her punishment. To anyone who's been betrayed by someone they trusted, I know it hurts. I know it breaks you, but you don't have to stay broken. Turn that betrayal into your blueprint. Turn your heartbreak into hunger. And one day, they'll choke on the success they thought you'd never have. This was Betrayal Exposed. Subscribe for more real stories of pain, power, and revenge. Because sometimes the best revenge is living the life they never thought you could. To anyone watching who's been used, lied to, or betrayed by someone close, let this be your reminder. You are not broken. You are becoming. And one day, the same people who doubted you will regret ever thinking you'd stay down. Subscribe to Betrayal Exposed for more real stories that cut deep, inspire growth, and prove revenge can be powerful when it's silent, strategic, and stunning. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode filled with more interesting and informative stories waiting just for you.